guys, we're here for TK Monday Minutes, episode 7. Today we're talking about leadership and leadership styles. So Sim,
Yes.
shoot.
All right, so I have a question for you.
What's up?
What is leadership?
Right, so I would describe leadership probably as a one person or a group of people leading a group of people that really hones in on each person's individual strength. So I feel like every single person out there, they have strengths, they have weaknesses, and coming together and mixing those strengths and weaknesses can either make you very strong or very weak. And I think it's a leader's role to really identify what those strengths are and really play into them so that they can get the best out of that person individually and collectively as a group.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And how would you define a good leader?
I think a good leader is patient above anything. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things that are thrown your way in a leadership role that you have absolutely no idea will come your way. And a lot of people, I feel, react, and they react. I mean, I've seen a lot of leaders. I'm now in a leadership role myself, and this is kind of where I've seen probably the more not beneficial parts come is from reaction. And I think that a leadership, or at least one of the better parts of a leader, is to really take in, be patient with the information that is given to you, be able to process it, and then be able to manage it accordingly, and not really just dive into what a lot of emotions take you to be. And like, emotions, when they take over, they can kind of really guide you in the wrong directions. And I quite often come back to the phrase of never make any permanent decisions, like when you're on a temporary emotion, because that will not lead you anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is very true. And I like to remember this small saying or small mantra, if you will, not to react, but to respond. And respond.
Right.
When you're responding, you are actually taking it in, and you're taking the information, thinking about the other person. So I agree with you completely. And I think the last question I have for you is, in a business setting, what is your preferred management style? I'm not sure if you have been in leadership roles before this, launching the business, but what would be your best management style?
It's a great question, because there's so many different types of management styles, and I've seen a ton of them both over me, and I've also feel like it also kind of correlates to who's under you too, because if you have someone who's like a go-getter that's like chomping at your heels and whatever kind of under you, it's going to be a different management style, or like at least a different relationship than someone who's more reserved, and someone who's from a different relationship from someone who's more laid back and that kind of thing. So I think you have to identify first who you're working, who's working with you, but it's more about, I think that when you're really looking into a leadership role, you have to look at what your team expertise is. And I feel like everyone is kind of always wanting to maybe be that great person, so like they might get the promotion, they might get this, they might get that. But I feel like when you're a leader, you really have to surround yourself with experts, and in every way. And almost people who are smarter than you, like not even almost definitely people who are smarter than you, that can teach you and get where your weaknesses are, fill those gaps up with their knowledge. And that's kind of where I really strive to do that with a team that is under me, with you guys that are all here. It's like playing into your strengths, knowing where you are, and basically providing the best environment that you can succeed in. And that's kind of where my leadership styles lie, I guess.
Okay, and then I have a question which is a bit personal, and I'm kind of curious to know.
Of course.
How
maybe they are too.
How do you manage expectations as a leader?
Expectations of myself or of
your team members?
Well, I feel like for that kind of answer is basically it comes down to communication, and I feel like with everybody that I work with and that wants to work with me, I always start with a really open line of communication, saying full transparency. I mean, we are doing a lot of fun things here too, but we're also doing a lot of things that require a lot of work at Top Knot, and I want people to know about it, and I want people to understand what they're diving into. I want to set their expectations so that nobody's time is wasted, right? And I think that's very important to kind of like lift that veil so that people can have like the full gamut of what they're walking into, so that they know where they can best put their foot forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
No problem.
And with that, we are done for
today.
today.
And We'll
Yeah.
see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.